It is time to go inside out as we welcome in our NBA insider Ian Begley joining us from the Garden. And Ian, was Tuesday the first time in your professional career that you had to break out a calculator, a slide rule, and an abacus during the game to figure out what was going on?
Eamon, was not the first time, will not be the last time. You would think simple addition, but, you know, I needed the calculator tonight because there was so much going on, right? You had the Brooklyn game, which mattered in terms of the in-season tournament, the Milwaukee game, the Boston game. It ended up with Brooklyn winning and Milwaukee winning. The Knicks were able to get that wild card spot. They will play the Bucks in the quarterfinals next week in Milwaukee, and it seems like the players were into it. You know, they were talking about how they knew they had a big lead late in the fourth quarter and they wanted to score more because of that point differential factor. And also, they liked the idea of going to Las Vegas in the middle of the season. The other thing that I thought was interesting, the $500,000 prize here. A couple guys, including Julius Randle, talked about really wanting to get that for some of the guys on the end of the roster because, you know, $500,000 for them is very significant.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. 500,000 as significant. We'll have much more on the Brooklyn game later, but we can joke about point differential all we want, but the Hornets made it a one-point game in the third. Ian, how did Julius Randle help spark the run that made it that blowout victory?
Yeah, it was similar to Sunday against Phoenix. He just came out and he did his damage inside. All right, I think he missed both of his three-point attempts, but 3 for 6 in the quarter, getting to the basket, really imposing his will down there. He also got a steal, pushed the ball up the floor, and finished in transition. So really, he says he's an inside-out player. You know Julius Randle is going well when he is scoring around the basket. He's using his strength and his size to get easy looks in the paint, and that's what you saw in that third quarter.
Now, after the loss to Phoenix, Josh Hart said he didn't feel included in the offense. He had 17 on 7 of 10 shooting from the field on Tuesday. So did you sense an effort to get him the ball or get him into a rhythm from the Knicks game plan?
You know, I thought you look at Jalen Brunson, right? He took 9 shots. I thought he was really trying to get everybody going early on and throughout this game. And, yeah, Josh Hart included in that group. And what you saw from Hart, I thought, tonight was he didn't hesitate when he had open looks from beyond the arc. And he acknowledged before the game that he had been hesitating because he says he's a rhythm player. So getting into the lane, creating for others, just having the ball in his hands is important to him sometimes. And you saw against Charlotte, he had the ball in his hands. He created any knockdown shot. So a very important player for the Knicks, Josh Hart. They extended him in the offseason. They're certainly invested in his success. So Tuesday was a very good sign for them for getting Hart right, getting back to where he was late last season.
Yeah, they definitely need him to be involved and be in a rhythm. And just remember, when they say there will be no math involved, Ian Begley's not believing you. He's bringing his calculator anyway. Ian, thanks for joining us here on Honda Sports Night.